Hello everyone. So today we'll continue our operating system topic, new topic. Okay, that is system calls. So what is basically system call means whenever you want system call is going to provide as an interface. Okay, it will act as an interface to the services. Okay, so we already saw the different type of services that is provided by the operating system. So this system call is going to provide as an interface to the services of the OS. Whatever the services OS is going to provide for us, it act as an interface. So these are most probably written in C and C++ programs. Okay, C or C++ program. Okay, yeah. So now we'll take one small example and check out how exactly the system call, or you can say the sequence of system call, going to system call going to happen for copy of a file. Okay, you want to copy a file content from one input file to another output file. Okay, so we'll see how exactly this function call going to work. Okay, so we'll have a source file. From the source file we are going to copy the details to the destination file. Okay, so what are the examples of the sequence? We'll write it in our table. Okay, okay, first we want to acquire. Okay, we want to acquire the input file name. Okay, the first step is we want to take the input. Okay, how we'll do this acquiring? First we'll write a prompt on the screen. Okay, we'll get the prompt to screen, means we'll ask the user to enter the file name. Okay, once he gave it, we accept the input. We'll accept the input file name from where we want to copy. Okay, so then acquire the output file name. Okay, first step is we took from which file name we want to copy the data. So now we want to know for which output file name we want to copy the data. So we'll write a prompt. Again we'll check another prompt, okay, to the screen. Okay, then again the user will write the output file. Okay, so again we'll accept the input from the user, that is nothing but the output file name. Okay, once this is done, then we'll open the file. Okay, we'll open the input file. First we'll try to open the input file and check it. If file does not exist, okay, we'll check the condition. If file not exist, so then we'll abort the function. Okay, we'll stop here because the input file itself is not there, so we can't copy it. Okay, so then the next step is create the output file. We'll create a output file where we want to copy all the content. We'll create the output file. Okay, if file exists. Okay, see here what happened, input file, if the file is not exist, we'll abort it. If here what happened for the output case, if the file already exists, we can't replace it without the user permission. So instead of asking a permission, we'll abort it. Okay, so then we'll have a loop. Okay, in the loop what we'll do, we'll read from the input file, read all the content input file, and again write. Okay, write it to the output file. Okay, we'll copy all the content to the output file until read fails, when there is no more data, until read going to fail. Okay, so then we'll close the output file. Okay, so then again we have a continuational join it here. Okay, so then we'll close our output file and we'll write a completion message. Okay, we'll tell the user, we want to tell that the completion message means we want to tell the user that the file is copied, then terminate the program. We are not abandoning it, we are terminating the program normally. Terminate normally. Okay, yeah, so once again I'll quickly tell how we are going to copy the cell. First one is we're going to take the input file name, every details, then we'll take all the output file name and all the details. Then what we are doing, we are going to open the file. If the file is not exist, input file is not exist, stop that. Again we go and check the output file. If the output file is already there, the file is already exist in the same name, we can't replace it, we'll abort it. Otherwise, we'll start a loop and read the data and write the data to the new file. Okay, until the read fails. Until the read fails means there is no more data to read from the file. So we'll close the file, and we want to tell the user that we have completed copying of the content. So we'll print that message, then terminate the program normally. Okay, so this is the basic definition and idea, and one small example how the sequence call, that is system calls one by one, the sequence calls, it will work. Okay, so now we'll see the next question is type of system calls. Okay, so we'll have a different type of system calls. So we'll see what are the different type of system calls. Okay, the next topic is types of system calls. Okay, so in the types of system call there are major six types. First one is process control. Okay, I'll list it. Okay, and then we'll try to understand in depth. First is process control. Second one is file management. Okay, so third one is device management. Okay, and fourth one is information management. Okay, so then fifth one is communication. Okay, and sixth one is protection. Okay, so now we'll see which are the subtopics, means what are the things we're going to do in the process control. Okay, and same way we'll see in each one in depth. Okay, first we'll start with the first one, that is process control. So already we know what is process. The program under execution is called as process whenever a program is running or whenever the program is under execution. Okay, so all the control is done by our system call. There are different type of system call. We'll see some of them. So what are they? Whenever we want to stop or abort the process, then we call end or abort. Okay, we want to stop, then we want to load the process or execute the process. Okay, so that is, for that we have a system call. Again, for creating the process, you want to create the process, for that also we have a system call. Same way for terminating, to stop it, for that also we have a system call. Same way we want to set some attributes. Okay, so set process attributes, we want to set some parameters for the process, or we want to get it, for that also we have a system call. Okay, so then we want to wait for some time in the process, we want to wait for given point of time, for that one system call. Again, signaling event, we want to signal an event, then we can do. Okay, again whenever we want to allocate a memory or a free the memory, for this also we'll have a system call. So these are the different type of system calls that comes under process control. Whenever you're executing a process or you want to run a process, these are the different type of system calls that is called under process control. Okay, so this is the first part. Okay, now we'll see the second part. So that is file management. Okay, so whenever we say file management, there are different type of system called for this one also. See, whenever we say file, the first thing we remember is creating the file and deleting the file. So for creating and deleting also, we want a system call. We have a separate system call. Then again we need to open the file and close the file. For that also, again we want to read from that file and write into the file, for that also. Okay, again we have a file attributes. The same way we have the process attributes, we'll have a file attributes for getting and as well as setting. We want to set the file attributes like name, all the parameters, and again we want to get the details. For that also we have a system calls related to file management. Okay, so now the third one is device management. Okay, the third type of system call is device management. Okay, even in device management we have many number of system calls. Okay, so what are they? Means whenever we want to request a device. Okay, whenever we want to request one device. Okay, or we want to leave back. Okay, we want to give back the device, that is release a device, then also we want a system, we'll have a separate system call for this one. Again, you want to read the data from the device or write into the data from the device. Again, same way device attributes. Okay, so device attributes. Again, we want to get the device attributes or set the device attributes. Both is done. Okay, again we want to attach and detach. Okay, attach or detach. Okay, detach the devices from the system. For that also we have some commands. Okay, this is all about device management. Then fourth one comes information management. Okay, so what are the informations related to? It can be related to the time and date. Okay, or system data. Okay, so first we'll have, in this case we'll have everything get and set. Okay, so first is get and set, that is time or date. Okay, we can get the time or set the time, that is time or date. So that is first. Okay, so get the time, set the time, get the date, get the date. For command same way, get and set for system data. Okay, so again we can have a system data, we can get the system data or set the system data, that one. Okay, so then same way we can get and set the process. Okay, we can get and set the process, files or device attributes. Okay, we can get the process, we can get the file or device attributes. Okay, all these three attributes we can get it or set it. So for that also we have a separate system calls. So then comes communication. The next fifth type of system call is communication. For this one again we want to create, delete the connection. Okay, for creation and delete the connection, communication connection, we have one system call. Again for send and receive the message. Okay, for that one. Okay, again if you want to transfer some status information, if you want to transfer some status info, for that also we have. Again we want to attach and detach remote. Okay, remote devices. Okay, the normal devices will comes under device management. Whenever you're communicating, there'll be remote devices whoever communicating. For that we have a separate system calls. Okay, so these are the different type of system calls that comes under different types. Okay, so thank you for watching. Subscribe and like for more such videos.